Hello! We've got a new angle for you all. This is a broken phone. So I broke the phone, or the phone broke on its own accord. It's now going to be a HD camera. I've got this to look at. So this is one of my production stack of build servers, and it's the only one that has any storage within it. So we have several drives and several blankers, which we're going to take out. So there's 1, 2, 3 drives in here, I think, and all the rest are blankers. So all the rest are just blankers. So there's actually space in here for 3, 6, 8 drives, but I only have 6. This is a Dell Poweredge 2950. It's not one that's had a fan mod. So you'll see in previous blog posts and videos, I've modified the fans. These are unmodified ones. Now what we're going to do today is, I'm going to get the modified ones out of another server that's not being used at the moment, put them in here. We're going to get a USB boot disk and put CentOS on there, follow my own blog instructions to change the firmware, and allow us to basically run these fans a bit slower and hence a bit more quietly. We're also going to, because I've got 3 of these servers, I have 3 of them, so this has got a single core, a single processor with 4 cores, but it's a dual processor board. We're going to look at populating the other processor position and filling the RAM slots. We've currently got 16 gigabytes of RAM in this one. It was literally used for storage, so it wasn't needed a lot. What I'm hoping to do is use the other 2 boxes as parts for this. This will become a sort of always used sort of server, but it's going to wake on LAN. And for wake on LAN, I've got my Raspberry Pi. The fans obviously would go here in a bank of 4. This is the blank CPU. This is the fitted CPU. Obviously everything I've got has got 2 CPUs in it. This is the only one with a single CPU, which is why it became my storage server. But other than that, as you can see, it's actually quite clean in here. It's not actually very dirty. We have 2 power supplies, which I'll plug both in to make sure it stays quieter than otherwise. But let's start with the fans. Okay. I'm just going to remove this CPU cover so I can put that into the donor machine and cover its socket, just for good measure. There we go. There we go. This side plane cable is an absolute pain. It runs out that channel. So this is the box we're upgrading. This is the one that's donated its CPU. So we need to put this cover down here. There we go. Cover's down in place. Just good housekeeping. Like so. There we go. I'll now put this away and we'll get to cleaning up. These are the parts we're going to swap. We've got 2 fans, all the drives, the sticks of memory, a new CPU, and a heatsink. Let's lift these out right. I'm just looking at that socket. Looks a bit. Okay, that's one in, and we're going to clean this one up. Yeah, cruddy. Not very nice at all, that. I don't know whether to just clean that in place. I think I will. Pretty crusty. There we go. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is just check that is also a 5335, which it is, but it's a different kind. So this says Intel 05 E35, so E5335, then Intel Xeon, then whatever, Costa Rica, then the speed. This one says the speed, then Intel Xeon, then Costa Rica, then E3553. So let's hope as a pair they work okay together. I think they're the same. So 2 gigahertz, 8 megabyte cache, 1333 megahertz, 2.2 gigahertz, 8 megabyte cache, 1. Yeah, so they are the same. They just got different printing on them, which is curious. Okay. Now got a pair of coolers, which should be fine. They will match. I need my gel, my cooling compound. Okay, the cooling compound I'm going to go with is this Arctic MX4. And I know everybody and their dog have got a way of doing this. Whoa. My way is quite a bit in the middle, then a line either side. Like that, because I want to get an even spread. And we will go with this one first. Doesn't feel right.
What I didn't notice at this point was that the cooler is not aligned properly with two pieces of plastic in the upper right area of the heatsink you can see right now. As I'm working this out, I try the other heatsink and see it's fine, see it's the same. Can't work out why this one won't actually go down into place. And it's this little piece of plastic. The idea is that it keys into a triangle on the edge of the top. If you look at the top right of that other heatsink, you'll see that triangle. It keys into it. It's where my right hand is now in the bottom of shot, but I've just not put it in place. And literally, as I'm wiggling it around, I'm trying to push it. I'm thinking, what's wrong? Why isn't this going down? I'm literally trying to puzzle my way out of a puzzle I've made of my own. So this final fit, I push it down, it slides into place, and then it fits home.
Don't know why that felt so strange. It really did feel odd. And let's put the fans in. As I said before, these are slower fans than you would expect.
And since recording this piece, I've taken the heat sinks off those controller chips on the main board. There's actually 3 of them, and I've cleaned them up and added thermal compound to them. They were very, very crusty, very, very old, dried up thermal compound. So new is only going to be better.
And the last one. So this is the sci-fi. I hate that. Right, I'm going to put the lid on. I'm going to get some power, some Ethernet, some VGA from under the table. I'm going to go from there.
Fast forward montage. This orange warning light is just telling us that our configuration has changed, so we can ignore it. Let's fire this sucker up.
Okay, this is the remote access controller. Yes. Get out of there. Save and exit. Memory. So we have 16 gigabytes DDR2, 667 megahertz, 16 megabytes to video now. System memory testing enabled. CPU. So we have core speed 2 gigahertz, bus speed 133, virtualization enabled, adjacent cache line prefetch enabled, hardware prefetcher, demand-based power management isn't available. So processor 1 is an E5335, 4 cores, and processor 2, which is a slightly different model look. So we have got a slightly different model. So it's also an E5335, but whereas this is an 060FB, this is an 060F7. So the B is slightly newer than the 7, I think. But they're identical other than that, so we should be fine. Right, we're about 5 minutes later. We're just downloading the image, and I've got an orange light. And when I come into the RAID controller, I only count 5 physical disks, despite my putting 6 in. And sure enough, this one is flashing problem. So we will swap that in the caddy in a minute.
Thanks for sticking with me for this hardware part of my video for today. The software part will follow on soon. I'm going to have a look at doing some of the bits and bobs in a minute. For now, do hit that subscribe button, like, comment if you want, and if you really disliked it, if you really have to, if you really feel the need, hit the dislike button, but please don't. It's just a very quick video with an update on my personal WoW server. This is a rebuild of the Mangos server, but it's a rebuild in TBC. And this is my first few seconds in here. Now, I've not added the other characters yet, so there's no other NPCs or any kind of creatures or anything on here. What I want, it's also struggling to record, but that's to be expected as we're using CPU. The server tick seems to be right, so what I'm going to do is add in the NPCs and go from there.